Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc for Part 9! We began the trial last time, and I'm totally on my back foot here. I have no idea what's going on. It's kind of weird so far. I'm not sure if I like this gameplay segment, but I'm sure it gets a little more interesting later, and a little less weird. The last thing we solved was that there should have been hair on the ground, but they phrased it in the absolute weirdest way possible. They were like, what's the one thing that should have been there but wasn't? And hair is like 6 down on my list of priorities for something that should have been there but wasn't. Not that anything was especially jumping out to me. Like, I got that. It's not that I didn't remember that the hair was removed, but like, the phrasing was the weirdest they could have possibly chosen. And then we had to shoot letters in Hangman, and they gave us like 4 minutes, which is good because it's apparently how long I needed. But anyway.
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No, I mean, we can't decide who the killer is for sure.
There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Me too, actually.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom.
Considering they unscrewed
There was
doorknob.
clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves it is... it's giving me a time limit here. I mean, if we're saying that the bathroom door frame... Well, I don't know. I don't actually know which one they're talking about now. Evidence that I know would be the bathroom door frame, because I know they should have struggled with it, because only Sayaka and I knew. But, I mean, someone else could have... But, I mean, the doorknob may also prove that. Well, no, the doorknob doesn't prove that as much as this does, I guess. I think this is what they want me to say, but... Again, with them being really weird about how they say it. But yeah, only Makoto and Sayaka should have known how to, and I think that's the important thing here. There's no doubt that this fact is an important one, but what we need now is evidence that left behind at the scene which proves it. You do remember what was in your room, right? What got broken? Okay, the doorknob. Okay. See, that's what I thought, but then I was like, okay, am I overthinking this, or do they want me to just say that because no one else knows about this?
Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
It was
The
unscrewed.
doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken.
I think that's maybe
See how
not
the
completely
top part was
broken.
unscrewed, and the doorknob's about ready to fall off.
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
It means they were trying to unscrew it
In
to get their way
trying
in.
to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
This is already really strange, though, because these are all things I came up with upon looking at the crime scene, right? But they're, like, bringing it up in the weirdest ways possible. They're not just saying, like, I don't know. But they didn't punish me for it, so I guess
what?
it's fair
You're
enough.
saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
It wasn't the only choice. It wasn't
You
locked.
Still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Oh, why can't you just tell me all at once? From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. Oh, good, okay. No matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one liar contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a true spell on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Good, finally. Okay, good. I thought that would have happened from the start, really. Otherwise, there's no game, but now this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you also fail. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Good luck, have fun. Okay, now we're getting to the game part of this game. Got it, understood. Make your arguments. What I gotta find out is someone's gonna say the door was locked, and I'm gonna be like, nah, it's a boy's room that doesn't lock. But only
The
Sayaka and
incident took
Koto knew
place in
that.
Makoto's room.
Yeah,
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
I concur.
She then fled into the bathroom.
Sounds right to me.
Then the killer ran after her,
Probably.
and they got into the bathroom. At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
No, they did not.
Because Sayaka had locked it.
Nope, you can't lock it.
And finally, the
Oh,
culprit
wait,
was
I
Sayaka
missed? Seriously?
Finally.
Okay, so you have to, like, I have to slow down for that then, I guess, basically.
We already
No,
know
sorry,
the
let's go around the loop again if you would please. I love that it high pitches their voices as well. The bullets, like,
At
have
that
an
point,
extremely
the
long
killer
travel
had to
time.
try and bust down the door.
Sorry.
Because Sayaka had locked it.
Oh, did I run my focus gauge out that fast? Oh, that's what those 5 stars are? Okay, they run out like immediately. Sorry, 2 seconds. This is extremely strange. Why can't I just pick which one I don't like? Why do I have to shoot it in bullet time? Okay.
The killer had to try and bust down the door because Sayaka had locked it.
She did not.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! Break.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
I protest, but obviously it adds to the game's sort of weirdness and identity. So I'm not totally denouncing it just yet. It's just a little stupid.
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
In a funny way.
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yep.
He won't, but he could.
True
Oh no, he sure he will.
But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student.
According to you.
But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was
really
stuck.
just stops dead.
But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Again, it couldn't be me then.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Because if when it doesn't fit, it doesn't open normally when you tug on it.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The nameplates were swapped.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
One important detail? Something the killer didn't know. For some reason, they were convinced the door was locked, which means the important detail the killer didn't know was that the crime took place in my room.
I got it!
I got it!
The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was?
Bro, what's with like the jittering version of their face on the side?
And yet, he's
So
absolutely
distracting.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
There would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
In more ways than one.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known
Okay,
exactly
Makoto,
why it wasn't opening, right?
I think we can chill out with you. I think you're more or less absolved here. We just gotta find out who did it now. Which Leon is seeming the most sketchy because he's the one who's like being the most confrontational about like, well, what does that prove? Doesn't prove anything. It was Makoto.
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
No, you can't do that.
What happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
We just have to guess and then we all die.
Why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Why? What?
Majority
No.
rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line
Man,
here.
the audio skipped there.
Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions?
I've got like 8.
It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Fire away.
Oh, you.
You don't gotta
Damn!
sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
That was one of the things I wanted to know.
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
It is possible. Somewhere she would have been, and we were saying that she was the one to go get the knife from the kitchen, or at least she was around that area. So somewhere on the
I
path
don't
from
think
there to
so.
there.
That seems way too convenient.
Then
Well,
maybe someone picked the lock?
we were told they were
Negative.
tamper-proof.
If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
We're in a courtroom, it's the point.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
I think he's gonna get there if we just shut up and give him a minute. The reason there's no way Sayaka invited her killer into the room, I already have the answer. Oh, shoot, okay, the switch rooms, I guess, is what we want to say, because she was so scared. I think? Well, let me just check everything else. They're giving me 3.5 minutes, which seems a little generous, so I might as well. Unless we're trying to talk about the nameplates, but I don't think that makes any sense. Oh, or I guess we could also say this, because if the time of death is 1:30 a.m., no one else would be out by then, but that's a de facto rule, not a rule. Oh, now I've put doubts in my own head, though. I don't know. I guess they want me to say she was too scared, because, I mean, we like, basically swore up and down to each other we wouldn't open the door. I'm just supposed to say the fact that we swapped rooms at all should tell you how scared she was? I guess? Because we can't say... I don't think we can use the Monokuma file and be like, we promised we wouldn't go out in the halls, because obviously if someone is willing to kill one of the other ones, they're not going to uphold to that promise. I guess I got it!
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Again, that doesn't, like, prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt, it just suggests it's unlikely. The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she's been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
Yeah, I guess that's a pretty compelling point.
Being scared was a lie.
Huh?
It's possible.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I can't with the face on the left side.
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
What, your pretty face? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Come see my room, check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay, Sayaka? Oh, well, yeah, that is a little sketchy, huh? There's something I want to talk to you about. Yeah, always me reading it before he does. There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
Don't say that! It makes you sound so suspicious.
Technique. But even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Oh! Oh, no, but in my room while she was there, not Sayaka's room where I was staying, you mean?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto.
Wait, so...
Did you write this?
Hold on, Scott. Sorry, what did you just say? Transcript, help! Only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it. That's not true at all. So you could have planted the they could have planted the notepad. Why do you say that the notepad had to be there already? In fact, the thing that makes most sense is that the killer planted the notepad. What are you talking about, Kyoko? You've been so smart and cool and sensible until this point. Unless you're doing this just to get me to think about the point.
I didn't, but...
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that doesn't prove anything. Then that note, Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
Huh? I thought you said you found it in the room. As lost as I've been in this game and these trial sequences so far, this is the most confusing thing they've said. Oh, no, I see what you're saying. You're saying the notepad, because this is an imprint left on the lower down page. The actual page was taken off and slid under someone's door. It still doesn't prove that the note was written in Makoto's room or was using the notepad that was originally in Makoto's room. If everyone was given a notepad, someone could just, and we're not doing forensics here, but the killer would have just as easily switched him if they realized that this was a possibility. Or the killer could have come in and written the note there after the fact. I have no idea what you're talking about, actually, if I'm honest. I'm totally lost.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, What young man could resist?
Someone who was worried about getting stabbed to death?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly,
I can't.
even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
She's suspicious of someone else.
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Very much so.
Pay attention.
Is this the non-stop debate segment? It looks that way. Make your argument! Let's hear it. Dorm nameplates is what I've got.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Bingo!
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to...
Oh, Sayaka's room, right.
It specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Mm-hmm. But
Exactly.
in reality...
The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, but that is not what I...
So
well,
in other
hang on.
words,
Maybe that's not
even
the
if
place to shoot
someone
it.
did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Okay, well, I know what I'm trying to say here. I just don't know which point to shoot. What I'm trying to say is the dorm... They were switched, so obviously anyone told to go to Sayaka's room would end up in Makoto's room. I don't know which point says that. Why do they have to do this so confusingly? Okay, we switched rooms. Yes, that's categorically true. The nameplate's just not. The note does say my room. Okay, so there's only one other point I can shoot. So it's this one.
Exactly.
The room that Makoto was staying in. Which... Well, I was staying in Sayaka's room. No, but they wouldn't have gone to... why would they light it up that way?
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
The way they lit that up makes it sound like the thing that's in question is whether or not I was staying in Sayaka's room. Not whether the killer would have ended up there, or whoever read the note would have ended up there. This is... I mean, maybe I'm just being weird, but it feels like the localization is, like, really, really incredibly good everywhere else in this game. And it's just bizarre on where on the logics portions here. Like, if someone read that note, they would have gone to Sayaka's room. Exactly, the room that Makoto was staying in. The thing that should be lit up is they would have gone to Sayaka's room, because that's what didn't happen, right? It should be, they would have gone to Sayaka's room, and I would say, no, they wouldn't have, because the nameplates were switched. But for some reason, the one that's lit up is the room that Makoto was staying in, which makes it sound like I'm objecting to the fact that I was staying in Sayaka's room, which I'm not, because that's literally what happened. I have no idea why this is like this. But I just process of eliminationed it, because the point that I knew I was trying to prove was very patently not the other two. But this is incredibly, incredibly weird. But anyway.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves.
This is how confused I am when I know what they're driving at. If it gets to a point where I don't know what they're saying, I'm so fucked.
As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually
this is
had
any indication.
Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Yes.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem.
Wait, sorry, let me hear that again. Yes, no, that's right.
And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
No, I did that. That was me.
Right? Okay, then who did it?
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The kid... Oh. Wait, there's only one? Why is there only one? Are we saying... Huh? Why couldn't it have been the killer? I don't understand. Why couldn't it have been the killer trying to cover our tracks? Or if they're saying that it was done specifically to obfuscate... it was done specifically to mislead whomever was coming to said room, then I guess it would have to be Sayaka. But I don't think it has to be Sayaka. I think it could have been the killer. It's only Sayaka if we know it was switched before her death. I think. Well, even then the killer could have switched them before coming in. I think they're saying Sayaka? But I don't know why they're inserting that beyond shadow of a doubt.
Switching rooms.
Well, that doesnning mean you were the only one who could have switched the plates. The killer could have, like, after trying to kill you Makoto, and ending up with Sayaka. Or no, wait, hang on. Okay, maybe I see what they're saying. So if the killer was trying to kill you, and went into your room and found Sayaka there, and then they had to kill her because she was there. No, okay, I think I see what you're saying, though. You're saying that since with the note being there, it seems likely that the killer was following the note. Which case, no, I don't understand. Just carry on.
Besides me, who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
Unless the killer killed her and then decided to cover their tracks by switching the nameplates so that the note made more sense or something. Or so that the note casted more suspicion on you or the nameplate. I don't know the name. It's weird to assume that Sayaka did it. I feel like. You can also
infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Oh, check the nameplates. Okay, right. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay? Okay, yeah, then it does sound like it was her.
The reader to check the nameplates.
I forgot about that bit.
She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
Well, but you wouldn't... But writing it itself would draw attention to it, right? In a weird way? You would assume everyone would check the nameplates because we've only been here 4 days and we probably don't have committed to memory where everyone's rooms are. This is weird, anyway.
She switched them in the first place.
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
She knew they were going to try and kill her?
We first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably...
They had tea and a nice chat!
Whoever she invited over came in and attacked her! We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
Very good, Kiyotaka!
We still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
We have a bit of evidence of that with the golden bullet and all.
We just
the golden bullet, the
figure
golden
out
dust
what
in her hand.
happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Well, the reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because of her hand where there's the golden dust. I'm pretty sure is what we're getting at. I got it!
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is.
It sure is, buddy.
Gold coating from the replica sword.
Damn straight, Palio.
You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
Kiyotaka, you're on fire today.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Seems, I mean, you could certainly break someone's wrist with a... If it was a replica sword, I don't know what it's made of. But even with the pommel, if you hit someone hard enough.
All right, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
I dare say, but you've hit on something? What happened in my room and what led to Sayaka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Please, fire away. Are you getting used to these non-stop debates? Not in the least. Starting with the next debate, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder, but just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage to your influence gauge. You can press the Q to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release the Q to cycle through. Yeah, okay. Or you can use the mouse wheel, no period. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded in the cylinder. For our purposes of this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. I did that. I did that to myself. Well, then good luck and have fun. Okay. So I got okay. There's not gonna be now. It's a bit more Ace-Attorney-ish where I have to pick the right point and the right item. So the scabbard, the set, and the sword. Okay, so it's probably not gonna be the knife. But let's hear what they have to say first.
The culprit grabbed the sword.
I still can barely hear them. I know I got the music at like 10%.
The sword-based sneak attack.
Well, I don't know if it's a sneak attack, but none of my evidence refutes that. Chances are.
She tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
Maybe?
But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
The sword was used first and then the knife came afterward. Is that really the order of events? At least there's some unexplainable details. It does? Okay, I mean, I want to pause to look at it, but this doesn't run my timer out, so sorry about that, I guess. Again, I don't really know what the point of the timer is if they are allowing you to pause and read it anyway. The sword handle was missing some of the gold coating as was part of the blade. The sheath was found some distance from the sword itself and shows evidence of being scratched with a sharp object. If you were going to attack someone with the sword, you would almost certainly remove the sheath first. Oh, right, okay, that's what they're getting at here is, the sword mustn't have been out, presumably the knife came out first. So she struck first and hit the sheath with it. I think that's what they're trying to say. I don't know what point to put that on though, but what that means is I gotta do the sheath.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So I guess a sword-based sneak attack, because that sneak attack implies she did that first. So I will try and hit sword-based sneak attack with the sheath. But really, again, the point here should be that's when the first blow was dealt, right? That's what we're disproving, not that she was hit with a sword at any point. So I don't know why they insist upon putting the yellow text on the wrong spot.
The fight started with the sword.
But okay.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife?
Exactly what I mean.
That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Well, how sharp is the replica? I guess we haven't really explored that.
Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
Well, I think... I mean, you're asking too much of me, really. I can't explain any of this. But I think they're getting at that Sayaka struck first, missed them and hit their scabbard. They unsheathed it and then fought back and broke her wrist, and then she ran.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath.
We're saying it's too heavy, and anyone who took the sword out to use it would have thrown the sheath on the ground, so... The only way the sheath could have gotten scratched after that is someone went up to it after and just stabbed it, which is ridiculous. So of course it didn't happen.
With the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend
they just like blocked with
against
it,
an
I see.
attack from the knife.
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out.
Lay it out for us.
The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Wait, huh? So did he say that? They're so fucking quiet. I can't hear what they're saying. Okay. They're saying that Sayaka defended with the sword. Okay. God damn it.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Her hands are all sparkly clean. The part of her body that shows she never used the sword. Her palms. I got it!
You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palm?
The golden dust comes off real easy.
Before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands.
Or damn near all of it.
There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
No.
No, that's not it at all.
And I don't, for the record. But never mind. There's no way she washed the gold coating off her hands because the water to the shower was off, but the sink was right there, but I assume this is what they're saying? I mean, water can't remove it, it's never been said, and she's afraid of water isn't true. Did we ever learn that the sinks go off?
File, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
No, the water in the showers turns off. If you couldn't use the bathroom after 10 p.m., it would be pretty shit. They never ever said the water to the bathrooms goes off it, right? They only said to the shower. The showers don't work during nighttime anyway, right? The water for the showers gets turned off at nighttime. Your room comes furnished with a shower, but please note that the water is turned off at nighttime. Hang on, am I going, how insane am I right now? Oh, it scrolls so slow, there's no way I'll ever get it to the top to check that. I'm pretty confident they only said the showers, but okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
I get that.
Oh my.
Heaving me bad.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Pretty sure it's an insult.
Obviously.
So
Anyway.
if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath would have had to have been the one without the sword. Sorry, I was spacing a little, but I think we're saying Sayaka, right? Because she didn't get any on her hands. Yeah, she fought back, so that this was our initial assumption.
She had the kitchen knife?
Isn't that what we said from the start? Because that's what Aoi told us? Why is this a
We already
surprise?
said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Did we not already know that? Okay, I thought, sorry, I'm losing my mind. I think maybe I thought that, but maybe they hadn't thought that far ahead yet, perhaps.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim.
You're suggesting she invited someone to her room to kill them. I get that.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
I mean, I don't think it's outlandish to assume that it was self-defense, because if they blocked with the sword as a reflex, that means they had the sword on hand, right? So it sounds more like they came in and picked up the sword and she was like, oh shit, and took out the knife, right? Why would you assume she let them in, came flying at them with the knife, and they like teleported to the other side of the room, picked up the sword, and blocked with it? I don't understand this at all. This whole trial has been so profoundly confusing. What they're suggesting is beyond ludicrous. They're saying she invited them into the room, walked all the way backwards to the bed, let them pick up the sword, walk up to her, and then tried to kill them? What in fuck's name is happening in this game? What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room
Like,
she was
because
staying
the
in.
sword's not near the door at all. It's like as far as you can get from the door.
And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
And why would she suggest that Makoto put a sword in his room if she was going to invite someone there to kill them? I mean, granted, she suggested that before we got the videos, so maybe they're saying she suddenly desired to kill after all that was revealed.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct?
Bingo.
Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sure.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying.
To stage the crime there,
by
yeah.
committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's
Well,
why she
but
switched the names?
It's incredibly suspicious that she says, look at the nameplates, don't rely on your memory anyway in the note, though, right? So this doesn't feel like it holds much water, but I agree it's certainly a suspect.
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
That's a good point.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior.
In fairness, I did swear to her that I would back her no matter what, didn't I?
I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
I'm a little insulted by totally forgettable, but you got a point.
You're saying she had this all planned out?
But Makoto's not gonna like that.
But in the end, Her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument.
We're trying to figure out who killed Sayaka, not what Sayaka's motives were.
Super boring right now.
Got it.
Come on,
Sorry.
hurry up and
This is
decide who
important
did it.
to Makoto's emotional state, though. Don't you care about that, Monokuma? You're not gonna get any despair from him if he collapses in tears.
Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out
Oh yeah,
of time?
time, that.
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery.
Indeed. Figuring out the rest and Sayaka's motivations can come after we've all not been blown up.
If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Although, uncovering Sayaka's motive, I mean, her motive is to get out, but uncovering Sayaka's plan and disposition around the event might help us know who it was. But anyway, is it really all over? No, she said, if you can't... Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. I wouldn't say nothing left. Oh, there's another argument coming? Oh, okay. Do I have to find the 11037 here? I was getting to the dying message. That sounds like it's going to be the most important one next, right? So does it just pick random ones each time?
Say, hey,
I wonder.
Who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Okay, well, I wouldn't say that.
No,
I don't even know why you would bring that up, since this one incriminates you, if you did indeed know about it. I love that the way the screen like cracks and shatters,
there
though,
might be one clue left.
when you break it. It's like very
Sayaka's
Tales-esque.
dying message.
Dining. Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask.
I mean, I'd kind of like to get far into it if it's alright with you.
Can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
No, it seems likely with the blood on her finger, but no, I guess we can't. There's no question that Sayaka wrote that message, and I can prove it. Oh, I don't know that's no question. I got it, though!
The index finger had blood on it.
We speak really authoritatively on stuff we couldn't possibly know in this game.
That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I mean, no, you could have... It's easy to get blood on stuff that wasn't used to write dying messages, I think.
See,
But
she broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all
we don't even know
agree
she was
Sayaka
left or
wrote it.
right-handed, necessarily.
But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
She's the computer nerd or whatever, and I'll thank you to realize
No,
it.
that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Usually when we program, it's either in ones or zeros if we're in machine code, or we use human words. We don't just type random numbers and hope stuff makes sense.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
I thought you said you were going to let Makoto figure that out.
Yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers.
Why would anyone not just say they look like letters?
Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa.
No. Really?
You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Ouch.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn it, it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180
Oh, she's just going to tell him. Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Oh, they're not going to make me do that? Okay.
You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
Well, obviously it spells Yasuhiro. Can't you see that? Sayaka's dying message reveals the killer's name. Select someone. What? It says Leon. What? What the fuck? Select someone. Why do I have to do that? Okay.
The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
Why are you saying like it? Like you came up with it. Kyoko just told everyone it was Leon.
If you turn the
This
message
is really
around,
weird.
it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
I mean, that's really improbable, and you have to know.
It's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning.
Oh, it's
up
actually on the
against
wall. It's not on the shower pane, so it's not as though you could have rotated it around anyway.
In that position, she couldn't
Like I was
move to
thinking
write
earlier.
normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result,
I don't think it's anything rhetorical about that. She had to write upside down. Period.
when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
But even if they weren't, writing it upside down would be helpful to conceal it from the killer anyway.
The killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Don't I ever? The bloody sleeve! Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. The evidence Leon tried to get rid of, I know what it was. I probably broke the bloody sleeve.
I got it!
I got it!
You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
So I think what they're saying is he took Yasuhiro's crystal ball from the laundry room, reached his arm through the gate, threw it at the incinerator button, and then threw the shirt in there, but he only got part of it, so it incinerated part of it and the other part fell off? I guess?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
I didn't see that coming, though, that the incinerator was actually pertinent in any way.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
Okay, they're saying that is
And
what
the
happened.
killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked.
Or burnt it.
Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers
I don't know
to
how
all the riddles are right
We all
here.
have multiple sets of clothes anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
None of us knew it was a boarding school to begin with. The burnt remnants of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who is responsible, when it was disposed of, where it was disposed of, how it was disposed of. Probably how, which is that... Oh, well, no. I was going to say how because it was disposed of without the gate being up, so it means it wasn't Hifumi. But I think what they're asking me to say is it should be where, because it's in the incinerator room, which only Hifumi would be able to get into. I'm assuming that someone threw the crystal ball at it, but since we haven't stated that, I think we're supposed to say where. Where the shirt was destroyed. If we focus on that, the killer will become clear. Oh, it didn't say got it. I guess that was wrong. Where it was destroyed? You're talking about the trash room incinerator, right? How the fuck's that supposed to make anything clear? It's like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone. Okay, I don't know. I mean, how and where are the same thing in the incinerator? I don't know what we're getting at here. When? No, okay. What do you mean the time it was destroyed? Do you really have evidence to prove the time? No? Okay, good. When and how? They're saying because it was just disposed of recklessly and they didn't notice the sleeve, right? I.e., it was disposed of from long range, I guess. Oh, I restored some health for that.
Was disposed of. We should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say.
You're gonna say that because it was disposed of messily, it implies it wasn't Hifumi, right? But that just tells us who it isn't.
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
No, but the...
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on, either.
Yes, you would if you threw something at it. Fuck this. Okay,
You need the key
I'm annoyed
again.
at this now.
And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Well, but if that's the point they wanted me to get at, doesn't Ware do that too? In the incinerator that only Hifumi could get to? How is that a different point? Where and how? If that's the distinction they wanted me to get at. Why is the writing so drastically different in quality in the trial segments?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. That's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. They want me to say, throw the crystal ball at it. I got it, but... Shatter crystal ball, okay. Just like a second to load the right bullet.
Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
No.
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
That is true,
And
categorically.
you'd have to get close to the
But
incinerator.
you wouldn't have to get close if you threw something at it.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong, is what I meant, of course.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could
That's
you?
where you're wrong, pal.
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball,
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was throw it.
I got it!
I got it!
The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down there. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
I don't know why I needed to include that bit in the
So the
flashback.
only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
But if they threw even slightly wrong, then the sleeve would hang out over the side and not get incinerated.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room.
If they
The
had, they
shards
wouldn't have
of
let the
broken
sleeve out of the
glass,
sleeve.
The incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped
Oh yeah, the
fire.
fact that they didn't turn it off after. Yeah, that's a
If
good
the
point.
killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right?
You'd have to be a baseball player to make up that kind of throw.
Depends what accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
No,
That's
no.
right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
You'd have to be an ultimate ball thrower.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
Wouldn't have been much of a challenge at all for the killer. Because ultimate baseball star. That's not a sentence. Because ultimate baseball star. Because ultimate baseball star. Do you guys understand me?
Isn't that right? Leon! Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
I do, yes.
A target
Thank you
30
for
feet
asking.
away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shepherd brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his
Me?
plan perfectly clear.
Okay.
And with that, we can end this.
I'll definitely get this right.
What the hell do you mean end this?
Say what you
I'll
want,
execute
Leon.
you. That's good, the
But all
idea.
the
Sorry about
questions
it.
have been answered, and the truth has been revealed.
I mean, trust me, I get that you have your reasons for wanting to leave. Fair. I don't not feel bad for you. But execute you is where we're heading with this, that we don't die.
Now here's what happened.
Closing the argument is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? I guess. Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You have to reproduce the flow of events for the case in the form of a comic book. Why? Have you noticed in the comic there are a number of pieces missing? It's up to you to complete the comic by using provided truth panels. If you take aim at a missing section and press the left mouse button, holy cow, you'll get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Good luck and have fun. Thank you, narrator. Climax interference start. Okay. Finish the thought. Mystery person, the sword? Wait, hang on. She's got the knife. Wait, what am I supposed to... I guess the next thing she did... I don't know what this image is supposed to show. Her dropping the knife? I guess that would be the thing that would happen next. What? Oh, no, there's more of these. Sorry. They're standing in front of the sword? Wait, how do I... Is there a way to go to the next page? Oh, of course it's right to left. Sorry, I'm dumb. I'm just a bit stupid. It's okay. So this will be them blocking with the sword, I guess. Which of these shows that... Maybe I do the easy ones first. Oh, no, here we go. There's the blocking with the sword. Okay, and then after that... anyway, I'll do the easy ones first. Broke her wrist. Where's that? Oh, dropping the sword. Okay, probably then. And then she went in here and she was like, arg, and then they were trying to jimmy the knob, then they were like, it's not working, guess it's locked. So it's, my mouse sensitivity. I put the mouse sensitivity to the max, it takes so long to get over there even still. And then while she was dying, she wrote the note. And then, wait, so we fail if we don't complete the comic book? Why wouldn't someone else just summarize the case for everyone? They lint rolled the, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the button. Okay, right. They put the crystal ball in hand and then threw it. And the sleeve got left behind. Oh no, sorry, that one should go over. Sorry, that should go here. They. Well, this is already here, so I don't know why putting it here is necessary. But oh no, sorry, they're throwing the clothes into the yes, of course. Yeah, sorry, they found the lint roller. Throwing the clothes, that happens right here. So I guess some of these will not always be you're not going to use all of these. How many are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, 12 13. So there are some of them we're not going to use. Right? Okay, sorry. They're going to tell me when I've got it right? So really the first thing that happened is that they came to her room, I guess. Glad they give you so much time for this. They came in and then... Okay, no, so this one really should go here, and then over here should be when they were like, oh, the sword, I should pick it up. That's so weird that they're saying she let them draw that close into the room, because she was hiding around the corner. Anyway. Oh, it says reenact now? Does that mean I've got it right? I mean, it looks fairly right at this juncture, and I didn't notice the reenact before, so... Hang on, if I take it off and just put another random one... Oh no, okay, so it might be the wrong one. Hang on. I better be sure I got it right then? I assume if I say it's right without it being right, bad things happen? They came here, she attacked them, they dodged towards the sword, picked it up and blocked with it, then swung back at her, broke her wrist, she drops the knife. Oh, so then I guess... This is redundant, so I don't need to put it here? Oh, so maybe I'm supposed to put this here? I don't know what should go here then. She menaced them with the sword? Or they menaced her with the sword, rather? Well, whatever, let's hit reenact and see what happens. Maybe I'll just lose health if I get it wrong.
What happened?
Here's exactly what happened!
I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning.
Okay, never mind. Oh, wait, no, you're saying I got it right? Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Last night, the killer went to the room
I thought that was them telling me I got it wrong.
In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them.
The badum.
She attacked them with the knife
Instead of
she
doki
took from the
doki.
kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist.
So what they're saying is she told them to come in and just left the door unlocked and then just like hid around the corner and was gonna jump out at them. But like waited until they were closer to the sword for some reason.
that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife,
I do appreciate this roundup, though,
and stabbed Sayaka.
to get a sense of how much it looked like it, how accurate the picture in your head is, I guess.
But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with
Dun
that,
dun!
all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And
Because it was me, and I'm always confident.
Was the
Dun,
ultimate
dun,
baseball
dun.
star.
Anyway. No.
The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator.
And I guess if the rooms are sound insulated, then we wouldn't have been able to hear that from inside a room either.
Which
Hence
then
why no one
quickly
did.
roared to life.
I don't understand why Aoi and Sakura were at the dining hall while it was restricted yet, though. That's something that I still don't understand. Unless when they said when Sayaka died, they were just getting the time wrong.
Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief.
I imagine they said something stupid after. Stupid asshole killed Sayaka. I imagine they said, I'm the worst, and I kill the best people in the school. They probably said that after,
But
too.
there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence.
That it nonetheless took us a really long time to come to grips with. Ba-boom!
Isn't that right, Leon?
Complete.
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball? You thought of a way to take care of everything.
I hadn't worked that out, but that makes enough
So,
sense.
Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence?
Actually, most of that was
It's
evidence.
all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto,
You want me to?
I
Oh.
believe you're in possession of that evidence.
Oh, sure. I have the evidence. Your first bullet time battle's about to begin. Would you like to hear more? I thought it was over. Yes, please. Sometimes during a class trial, your opponent simply won't want to hear what you have to say. When this happens, you'll engage them in a head-to-head battle. We like to refer to this as the bullet time battle, aka the BTB BT dubs. Hence the whole damage sequence we had before. Oh, okay, wait, but he has a focus meter. Can he slow down time for me? During the BTB, we want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. It's a rhythm game and a shooter? No, what's wrong with you, game? Why would you do this to me? Match your button presses with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Wait, am I also aiming at the statements? Okay. Press the right mouse button to lock onto an opponent's statement. Destroy the statement you locked onto with the left mouse button as the tempo marker reaches the center. So do I have to pick a particular statement, or am I just trying to blow them all up? Use this method to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be the one in pain. Do this consecutively and you'll start a combo. Keep this going and you'll initiate a tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get a tempo down situation when the tempo changes. So does the time for hitting each button, so watch out for that. Okay. Deal enough damage to your opponent and their weak spot statement will appear. At that point, you can press left mouse button to shoot it down with a truth bullet like any other statement. Refute their statement fast enough and you'll come out victorious. But just like before, if your influence gauge reaches 0, you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck and have fun. But hey, I'm already on low health from all the nonsense from earlier.
The killer broke the bathroom door.
Okay.
They didn't use anything from your room to do it. So what did the killer use?
So what was the question? I was freaking out. Sorry. They broke down the bathroom doorknob. They used one of their own toolkit. What did the killer use to take apart the doorknob?
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid.
I have to show indisputable evidence that Leon is the killer. I need to figure it out. They're asking me to say his toolkit, I guess. But okay. But it's gonna get to that of its own accord.
You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me.
Wait.
Stupid. You lied.
Oh, okay. Hold the fuck on. Why did they tell me to right click to lock on if it just says miss whenever I press it? Oh, as you continue to match the rhythm. You didn't say that. You just said to do it. I thought I had to do it before it would shoot anything. Okay, so they'll tell me when to do it. Okay. Sorry. I'm getting it.
You kidding me? Not a chance.
Wait, but how do will it tell me when to do it, or am I stupid? I'm getting my ass kicked here, and I don't understand what's going on.
You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me.
Why is this hurting me? They haven't explained what's going on. What the fuck was any of that? Oh, okay. Hang on just a minute. They wanted me to press right click on the beat? Because that is not what the fuck they said in the least. They said to left click on the beat. Oh, okay. Well, now I understand what they're saying, but they really did not explain that right at the fuck all. Match your button presses with the tempo marker. So they're saying right and left mouse buttons have to come on the thing, on the timer, and if you don't, okay, that was so easy to explain. All they had to say was, first to blow up a thing, you have to right click when on the tempo marker, and then while you're locked on, you left click on the tempo marker. I'm pretty sure is what's going on. Are you kidding me? I literally actually refuse to watch the game over sequence. That is such horse shit. I'm gonna continue from the save point and just start the trial again. All right, take the hell too. I'm so annoyed about that. Whatever though. I think I know what I'm doing now. It's just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay, you know how easy it would have been to just say to do that? I do. Click right, then left. Instead of whatever the hell say they said. Oh, whatever. And then when the moment of truth happens, we hit them with it. I would like to look up their health to see if this is doing anything. His health, I should say. And it seems like it is. Oh boy. Yeah, it seems like it's working, so I just gotta keep it up. Oh, I'm so bad with rhythm stuff, though. So I guess I'll just keep at it, though, until I seem to obviously be about to be able to lay the truth bullet down on them. Oh, you didn't tell me there would be rhythm games, everyone! You didn't warn me! You know I'm bad at rhythm games! Although it seems pretty gentle with the timings. Final strike!
Where's your proof?
Without evidence, it's all bullshit. I can't... My cursor isn't here. Oh, I just have to press it. Okay, I don't actually have to aim. Okay, right! This should prove it. Man, you know how much better this game would be if they just said press right, then left in order? Instead of being like, press left a bunch, but also you have to lock on with right.
I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove that.
I mean, It had to be a screwdriver, right?
So all I have to do is check his toolkit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
I don't know. If I'm honest, I would have had everyone bring their toolkits and sewing kits to the front first thing.
There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in
But
my room
anyway.
had clearly never been used.
Which means they use their own, i.e. we go into his room and get his. I
I
gotcha.
thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Their own.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid!
I mean, I wouldn't have even said that, because that totally could have been an excuse up to this point, but it does look bad.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
All in favor of removing this man from our lives. Sorry about it. Say aye. Aye. Alright, great. Wow. Oh, they're gonna rank me on it? Seriously insulting. When I was replaying it to get back there, I got some of the logic ones wrong, because on some of them it just says, like, I know what the evidence is, and so I was fast forwarding through the dialogue, and I was like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, I got an A. Great. Well, first court done. The trial thing. First trial thing done. Okay, yeah. So for me, that was a drastic step down in quality from the rest of the game. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe the first one's just bad? Because that was bad. Basically, all the interesting conclusions they took from me, and the characters figured them out themselves. And then when I was playing, they put all the yellow, like, highlighted dialogue in the non-stop debate portions in the wrong places. Like, always, like, a sentence away from where they actually should be. At least by my count. Like, I don't think it's really disputable for some of the ones that I pointed out. I don't really understand the point of the time limits on half of them if you can pause it, and if they're expecting you to pause it to, like, reviews evidence and stuff. Hangman's a bit weird that you have to, like, shoot the letters multiple times, but they don't really seem to try and get out of the way or anything. And they give you, like, 6 minutes, so it's like, it's just 6 minutes to try and figure out which the word it is. And then the thing at the end, there's just a random rhythm game in there that it doesn't, like, oh, I mean, again, it would have been really easy to just say, alternate right clicks, then left clicks. But they were like, you have to right click to target and then press left in time with the music. So yeah, first impression of the trial system isn't too positive. And everyone said stuff in weird ways. I get when you're writing a mystery, you have to kind of write it a little bit indirectly so that you don't hint any one way or the other, kind of. But I'm a little shocked that that was like that, considering the rest of the game. Maybe the rest of them will be a little more interesting and a little better done. But that was I mean, just pretty alarming how I thought the game was, like, absolutely phenomenal right up until the very beginning of the trial, and then it went downhill really quickly. But all right, I'm pumped to get back to the visual novel segments, because it seems so far like that'll be the bits I enjoy the most. Okay. I got 2 coins for that? Cool, neat. Thank you. Oh, and an achievement! What's a mistrial? Cleared a class trial without having to retry a single time. Well, let's just skip right past that.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our vote?
In my heart, I did it without having to retry, because they didn't explain the rhythm game right. But, like, I get it says press your button presses in time, but, like, it really, all it needed to say was press right click and then left click in alternation on the beats. Because that's basically what you're doing. I didn't really need to know any more than that, and the fact that they went into more detail made it more confusing. And, like, a little tutorial segment where they show you how it works in practice wouldn't have gone amiss. But anyway, I am.
You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection.
A lever?
Oh, just to remind you all.
What do we point it in the person? In the direction of the
You
person?
vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right?
Oh, you get punished if you don't vote at all? I thought they were just saying you get punished if you don't vote in the trial. Well, I guess you could just flip the thing a random direction if you're not sure.
Okay, then let's get excited!
No. I'm now too annoyed to be excited.
Blackened. Will you make the right choice? or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I mean, it would be pretty lame if they all picked wrong after I got the rhythm game right. What? Why? Okay. Ding, ding, ding. Sorry about it, Leon. Get out of here. Also, what canonically is the reason that everyone stopped believing Makoto's premise during the bullet time thing? Like, why was it only up to him? And why would Kyoko not step in to save her own life and just say the toolbox thing? And why were Aoi and Sakura in the dining hall while it was restricted? I'm so confused. Uh-oh, it looks like... Oh, sorry. Oh, it looks like you got it right on the money. The Blackened in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Quata. Sorry.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka? I don't believe it.
You
son of a bitch. What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
That's why...
I killed her first.
No,
like halfway through this.
Different.
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was complete chance that I wound up like this.
I was just... unlucky. That's all.
Hey, come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. When I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, then the truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind, it's all because of that video. So I was right that when she was said, you'd stick by me through anything, right? She was expecting me to take the fall for her. For this whole crime. I see. I mean, I assumed it came to that because they literally put a line from her earlier on that was like, I would do anything, including things that weren't pleasant, to get back to them. Even if I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video had actually done something to... wow, can't even read anymore. Great. This is a success of a day altogether. I'm still mad about that. I hope the next trial goes better. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here with no way out. They're probably waiting for me. Why? I can't afford to be stuck in here. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends, to have to see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka. I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it. Even some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So, when she said...
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Well, I mean, she wanted you on your side to take the fall for her. I don't think her feelings towards you were complete nonsense, but it might be that she was intending to betray you from the start then. But I mean, again, really, she's not the one you should be angry at, it's Monokuma. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, there's that. I don't know, I don't think it's that simple. I think she still helped you through a difficult time and you seems to help her, right? Maybe it was always her plan to hoodwink you, but I don't think all of those feelings were bunk.
Boy, howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships? She seemed so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside, she descended into pure madness.
What did you say?
I understand. Really, I do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right?
I was gonna get to that.
Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse.
Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it. Everything. It's all your fault. Suddenly in a frenzy, I lunged at Monokuma, but he's going to dodge out of the way again, right? Because for some reason he refuses to let us die. But...
That's enough.
That's enough. Oh, sorry. As angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it was to leave a bruise. It's not what it says. I can't read! Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise. I'm just so agitated.
Calm down.
No! The class trial system was stupid, Kyoko, and you know it. If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now.
Damn it. That was a close one. I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good whopping. Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon Kawata will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution?
His voice is so calm for the image that's on screen.
Wait a second.
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder?
So
No,
why...
that's not... Stop it. I've had enough of this. Oh? Are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka, do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either, because the one to blame is him.
Swat!
If it weren't for you, this would have never happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation, the mastermind.
Oh, did you awaken to your sense of justice? Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you?
Just shut up.
Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for, the punishment!
I'm begging you. Please, don't do this.
No more begging, no more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon Kawata, the ultimate baseball star.
No.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I'd really rather not.
Oh.
I'm very much with Makoto on this. It's not Leon's fault all the way anyway. Game over. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Little Atari sounds. I don't think we should be standing near him. Oh, good lord. In use. This can't be good. Is it a train? Oh no. He's getting hanged, I see. That's why we saw that before. Or shot, maybe. Maybe both. Cannons? Doesn't that seem a little goddamn extreme? Oh, they're baseballs. Oh, he's getting pummeled to death with baseballs? Why do we have to watch? Well, I could have gone my whole life without seeing that. This is why we saw that earlier. I see. So I was right that it was Leon. But not that he was being hanged. Killed by being hanged. Well, anyway. What we saw, that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
Woohoo! Extreme! Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control! Yeah!
Sorry.
What's going on? I can't
Can't
take this
take it.
Anymore.
Do we really have to keep doing this? I just can't take it.
Well?
Well, hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. That's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Fuck you. Why the fuck are you doing all this evil shit to us?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful secret society type of guy. Or in this case, a dark, awful secret society type of bear. So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a grueling ordeal? It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together.
You piece of shit! I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground.
You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame.
Of course we can't cut free of the outside world, being trapped in this insane place.
You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of this school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What does this mean? What are you trying to say?
Hey.
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there, just like before.
Anyway, let's get to the Blackened's punishment. That's what everyone is waiting for, after all.
Hey.
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to?
Sorry, I said everything I've got to say.
So we're being watched then. This affair is being publicized in some manner or another, I guess is what that means.
I need to save some of the fun for later.
Which I had wondered if maybe it was some kind of like government experiment earlier on. And just like that, he was gone. He left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone? Oh, I thought he was listing things. Scared of being alone, sorry. And I think we'll leave that episode there. Oh, I really ground my gears. I'm gonna try and put it past me though. Maybe the other trials are better. But like, I mean, most of the twists that were in there, you saw I mentioned priorly, right? So it's not that I didn't understand what they were trying to say. It's just that I really felt they were saying it in the wrong way. Over and 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 over. Like it was almost every single thing. I don't need to belabor the point. Damn shit, I was really thinking I was gonna get to the end of this game. Like I was really on course to be like, wow, this game is like phenomenal straight through, start to finish. Because it was definitely headed that way. There was no part of it I wasn't like keen on to that point. That's a letdown. For sure. But I'll try and do better next time. Next one on the channel is going to be some more Kingdom Hearts 2, which chances are is going to be a similarly annoyed video. But hey, well, that's what we got right now. It's what it's. The cards have been dealt. But I'm pleased we get to go back to the fun part of the game where we talk to characters and stuff. Next episode of this, so yippee! That's all for now. Thank you so very much for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Everyone's going to be out of here now. Peace! The ground resists grenades, everyone knows that. Are you pleased with me, Captain Santa? And the good boy. Oh, it's a good day when you find someone who's a bit weak to stabbing. So it's time for Yaoi after Mario. We're so close now, don't give up hope. It's got a sword and it said it's gonna be like... sorry about that. I live in a box for simple. Please forgive my ignorance. I cannot explain.